Breaking tonight at 11. From the outside, it looks like a normal Cleveland home. But inside, it's a slaughterhouse for a serial killer. Only one station, 19 Action News, has the official crime scene photos of the Cleveland Strangler case. 11 women taken, murdered. And you'll see what the police saw. Upstairs, downstairs, a madman's killing zone. Inside the Cleveland Strangler's House of Horrors. Only on 19 Action News at 11 tonight.
In Ohio, police are expanding their search for victims of an alleged serial killer this morning. They have already found 10 bodies in Anthony Sowell's home. Now they're going to look in vacant homes in the area. CBS News correspondent Randall Pinkston is in Cleveland with the very latest. Good morning, Randall.
Good morning, Harry. Here on the east side of Cleveland, an unfolding horror story. So far, no identities on any of the victims, but we do know that 6 of the 10 bodies are those of African-American women. Police first came to this house last week when they were investigating an alleged rape that took place 5 weeks earlier. Anthony Sowell, 50 years old, a former Marine, this morning stands accused of rape, kidnapping, and multiple murders.
The gruesome search continued into the night after Cleveland police discovered 4 more bodies in the backyard of convicted rapist Anthony Sowell.
It appears that this man had a satiable appetite that he had to fill.
Last week, police found 6 bodies inside the house, and yesterday another chilling discovery, a skull.
The skull was discovered wrapped in a paper bag in a bucket in the basement.
For months, there were complaints about a foul smell in the neighborhood, but everyone thought the odor was coming from a sausage factory right next door. One neighbor, however, was suspicious.
I seen his backyard. His backyard looks like new growth, like he was digging something.
Some residents are criticizing police for not discovering the crime sooner. Because Sowell was a registered sex offender, police would drop by his house to check on him, but officials insist before last week there was never any reason to suspect him of murder.
At that address over the last 3 years, including the call we just had on October 20th, there was only one other call to that address.
Meanwhile, relatives of missing women are anxiously watching and wondering if their loved ones are among the victims.
We came out because it just kind of feels like this may be it. This may be the end of our search.
Anthony Sowell is scheduled to be arraigned later today, and investigators will return to the house and begin removing walls to search for more bodies. Harry?
Randall Pinkston in Cleveland this morning. Thank you.
What happened in this house behind me is simply a nightmare, and there are a lot of deeply disturbing questions for authorities here. There were 6 bodies found in this house last week. This morning, we know there are more.
We discovered 4 additional, what we believe to be 4 bodies.
Police believe that they were murdered by this man, Anthony Sowell, a convicted rapist who had been living in the house.
It appears that this man had a satiable appetite that he had to fill.
5 of the bodies have been identified as women. Police say they were strangled.
I didn't feel safe. There was something telling me, don't go in this house.
One woman says she narrowly avoided being a victim.
How he was in love with me, how he wanted me to go up to his house and drink with him.
Sowell was a registered sex offender, and this tragedy raises questions about how closely he had been monitored by police.
Probation and parole is not really set up to be a law enforcement outfit. They're not set up to do the type of surveillance and supervision that might catch somebody like this guy.
The search of this house will continue. Chris, there could be still more bodies here.
Pierre, thank you. Thank you for the report.
Jurors in the Anthony Sowell trial have heard graphic testimony, and today they saw some very graphic crime scene photos. News Channel 5 Chief Investigator Ron Regan is once again following developments from court. And Ron, these jurors sure cannot have a weak stomach, and look at some of the evidence that has been presented to them.
Oh, Lee, I'll tell you, it was very, very hard for me to look at those photos, and you know that it had to have been hard for those jurors. WEWS-TV is not going to show you those most disturbing photos, but here's a look at what the inside of Anthony Sowell's home looked like the night police arrived. You're looking at the front living room on the 3rd floor of Sowell's Imperial 'Imperial' 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 ' But here's how it looked on October 21st of 11 victims were found. But here's how it looked on October 29th, 2009. These are crime scene photos that jurors saw for the first time, including this crawl space filled with dirt, covering one of the victims underneath. 4 victims were found in this room alone, near a black garbage bag filled with trash and crawling with flies and maggots. The next day, October 30th, investigators moved here to the basement. A 5th victim was found wrapped in a black garbage bag covered with dirt. Then, the most grisly discovery, the head of one victim inside a bucket. In the following days, the search moved here to Sowell's backyard and the area just below these steps. Crime scene photos show another shallow grave. By Tuesday, November 3rd, the remainder of the backyard was searched. Crime scene photos revealed the discovery of 4 more shallow graves, all less than 24 inches below the surface. And jurors also saw what Sowell allegedly saved, including women's clothing, jewelry they may have worn, and this, a bank statement showing that Sowell had just $3.14 in the bank just days before he was arrested. And police also found the personal Social Security Administration card information of one victim, as well as her food stamp card. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, how police finally captured Anthony Sowell and what he allegedly told them. Live at the Justice Center, I'm Chief Investigator Ron Regan.
Investigators say 4 more bodies and a skull have been found at the Cleveland home of convicted rapist Anthony Sowell. Police on Tuesday also charged 50-year-old Sowell with 5 counts of aggravated murder and with rape, felonious assault, and kidnapping.
Now, these bodies that we discovered in the backyard, it's tentative right now. It's not confirmed until they're transported to the coroner's office. We're going to continue our investigation throughout the night and tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to bring in the fire department and we're going to check walls, floors, etc. in that particular residence.
Officers first came to this home in Cleveland last week planning to arrest Sowell after a woman accused him of rape. That's when they discovered the bodies of 6 women. One was found in a shallow grave in the backyard, the rest inside the house. Authorities say all of the victims were African American and at least 5 had been strangled. The county coroner says identifying the remains could take weeks because many are badly decomposed. Authorities are collecting DNA samples and dental records from people with missing loved ones.
I always go with my first instincts and what I feel, and I feel sometimes it could be my mother, but I pray and hope that it's not my mother.
Anthony Sowell is a registered sex offender who is required to check in regularly at the sheriff's office. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
Anthony Sowell died this afternoon in Ohio's care.
He was 61 years old. He was admitted to the end-of-life care unit at the Franklin Medical Center for a terminal illness back in 2009. Cleveland police were investigating a rape case against Sowell when they searched his house on Imperial Avenue and discovered 2 bodies. Over the next several days, investigators worked to uncover and identify the remains of 11 women.
Crystal Dozier was his first victim, and moments ago I spoke with her mother, Florence Bray, who was just herself hearing the news tonight. Bray says she will rest better tonight knowing Sowell is gone.
He's been in jail for the longest, and my daughter dead and been buried 12 years, and I'm glad he did. I ain't sad. God is a just God. He did what he's supposed to do. He took that evil person out of this world, and there's a special place in hell for him, too.
A sentiment shared by many tonight. Now, some more background for you. Lena Lai did a story back in 2019 on the 10-year mark of the Sowell case. Let's take a look.
The grisly discovery of a Cleveland serial killer's secret. The bodies of 11 women found buried inside and around 12205 Imperial Avenue, the home of Anthony Sowell, who became known as the Cleveland Strangler.
You can smell it as soon as you get on Imperial, all the way down.
Neighbors remember that stench of rotting flesh, so wrongly attributed to Ray's sausage store next door.
And now we say their names. the 11 women, Anthony Sowell's victims: Tonia Carmichael, Nancy Cobbs, Tashana Culver, Crystal Dozier, Talisha Fortson, Imelda Hunter, LaShonda Long, Michelle Mason, Kim Yvette Smith, Diane Turner, and Janice Webb. More on the death of Anthony Sowell on WKYC.com and, of course, tomorrow on 3 News Go.